This is BBC Radio Guernsey. Please join me in welcoming the Reverend David Coulter, who's here to tell us about something rather special. Reverend Coulter, welcome to the show.
Jenny, good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Now, this is very important. This is the Royal British Legion support line you're talking about, and also a service. We'll come on to that. But tell us about the support line first.
Yes, I think when the COVID-19 crisis began, the armed forces community here in Guernsey decided that we needed to buddy up, which is an expression that soldiers, sailors and airmen recognise, basically ensuring that your colleagues and your friends are being well looked after. So the first initiative was to set up a hotline, and then to set up a shopping service, and to set up a way of people communicating with one another to ensure that none of our veterans and the large number of people who support the armed forces community were being forgotten about. And we've continued to do that throughout.
And I mean, the hugely important service that you provide is available. How do people contact that?
Yeah, so there is a very good website. So on the Guernsey Armed Forces website is probably the simplest way to get into it. And we are certainly expecting anybody who is a veteran or who knows somebody of the veteran community who would like to be involved. They simply go on that website, they'll find an email address, they'll find the contact details, and we'd be delighted to hear from them and do what we can to help.
What's the number?
I don't have the number offhand, I'm sorry.
Okay, how do we find out the number? Because we need to give the support line number out, really, don't we?
All right, I'll get that for you. I don't have it to hand, but I'll get it for you, and I will make sure you can broadcast before the end of your programme.
Lovely, thank you. Well, if you could do that in the next 22 minutes, that would be great. Because just a reminder, we've got the State's press conference on the latest to do with the coronavirus pandemic at 1 o'clock. There's no 1 o'clock news bulletin. Reverend Coulter, tell us about the VE Day service tomorrow.
Yeah, clearly this is a huge weekend for the island. The island is a huge weekend for the armed forces community, and we felt it's important that my church, St Andrews in the Grange, the Church of Scotland Church, would run an online virtual service to mark VE Day involving the Royal British Legion here in Guernsey. So what we did was we decided over the past week to invite people to come and to record music, reflections, as well as hymns and prayers that were woven together into a service that we're going to broadcast on YouTube tomorrow morning to mark VE Day in preparation for Liberation Day. And also we're trying to link the VE Day, people being at the front line, with those great people in the healthcare service who are currently in the front line combating COVID-19.
And as far as the Royal British Legion's concerned, there is the support line. Is it intended just for ex-service members, or can members of the public also use it?
No, absolutely. And I think everybody, if they think about it, knows somebody with connection to the Army, Navy, or the Air Force, or the Royal Marines, or the Merchant Services. And we would be more than happy to support anybody who is in need. Soldiers, you'll have seen on the television and the media, are out supplying the NHS in the UK with lots of kits and material. Soldiers, sailors and airmen are really good at helping other people. So you don't have to wear the uniform, but if you need help, we'd be delighted to help.
Well, thank you very much indeed. And what news from you at the Scottish Church on the Grange?
Yeah, I think one of the great things about this time of crisis really is that we have responded really well to a crisis. I think it's really important that the church, even though the services have been suspended, the church continues. We have managed to do online services, and we've managed, more importantly, to keep pastoral links with all our people. So anybody who's a member of St Andrews and Grange is regularly contacted. We've got a great team of elders who are doing that, and we want to know that people are certainly not forgotten about, because we haven't forgotten about them, and I'm absolutely certain that God hasn't forgotten about them either.
We had a heartbreaking interview, though, on the radio show and also on BBC Channel Islands with Mr. and Mrs. LePage, who sadly lost their daughter Elena just before the pandemic. It was on the cusp, actually, of lockdown, and their grief was profound, obviously, for obvious reasons, but made all the more profound because of the nature of the funeral and the grieving process. And you must have experienced similar. It's the cruelest cut of all, really, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, for the last 30 years I've been in the Army as an Army chaplain, and I think we have had many, many tragic situations where soldiers, sailors and airmen have been killed overseas, and their families have not been there or been with them at that time. And we've tried to wrap our arms around people. The difficulty, of course, now is you can't get close to folk. Running funerals is really difficult for everybody concerned, most of all the families. And I think that's a really difficult situation to manage.
And what sort of feedback are you getting from parishioners post-funerals and that sort of thing?
Well, I think a lot of people are saying they want to have a memorial service, a service of thanksgiving. When people have had a long life, you want to mark that life to the best of your ability. And people are saying, we'll do it later. The problem, Jenny, is that is unfinished business. And we are very mindful of the fact that life moves on. And people want to remember those who, sadly, have lost their lives sooner rather than later.
Absolutely, and it's not closure, is it? As you indicated, it's not that sense of closure that people get with a funeral, and then they can move on.
Exactly, and I think there'll be people will go to graves and put flowers and will put notes in the newspaper and remember people years after. And on this weekend, the Liberation Time, one of the things that certainly the Guernsey Armed Forces Network are encouraging is that for all veterans, and particularly all those cadets and others who would normally take part in Liberation, that they will actually mark the occasion. Mark the occasion, we would suggest, by standing outside their home, put on their uniform if they've got one, remember those that they're commemorating, be thankful for the liberation, but also, I think, marking the occasion, especially during the national anthem, when we can pause for a moment and thank God for the liberation.
Yeah, freedom means so much to us in so many different and new ways now, doesn't it?
It absolutely. And Jenny, as we've been talking, I've found the phone number for the helpline, if I can give you that, please.
Yes, please. Now, just explain for anyone who's just turned on their radio, what's the support line for?
Okay, the Guernsey Armed Forces helpline is there to support any veteran or any member of the community who feels that a soldier, sailor, airman or Royal Marine who's serving or in the past, that we can be there to help.
Financially?
Yes, and absolutely. And I think the welfare team will look at people's financial needs as well as their pastoral needs. And more importantly, we'll create that network of friendship that is safe and secure.
That's wonderful. And the number, please, David.
Okay, 07839 774 863.
That's 07839 774 863. That's 07839 774 863. If you are driving or you can't write it down, call us and we'll give it to you. Ask for Sean Coulter today, though, please, because Jake's moving house. And to you, the Reverend David Coulter, how are you and your family dealing with this situation personally?
Yeah, well, thank you. I think I'm quite enjoying, actually, the challenge, to be honest. I think it's great that we were able still to be able to support one another at a distance. I think the service that we're putting out tomorrow on YouTube for VE Day is a special event which I think has brought members of the community together. I think we are stronger together even though we are apart, and long may that continue.
To the Reverend David Coulter, to you and yours, thank you very much indeed, and stay safe.
Thank you, and you. God bless. Bye.
Thank you. That's the Reverend David Coulter there from St Andrew's Church on the Grange, the Scottish Church. And the Royal British Legion support line is 07839 774 863. If anyone you know from the armed forces, either now or previously, if they've served now or previously, if they're in difficulties, call the support line, please. That's what it's there for. 07839 774 863. I'll repeat it again. 07839 774 863. We've had a lovely message in from Barbara who said she's so sad to hear of the abuse towards security